I come a little bit closer. So I think it's all about the compass. The compass. Or maybe as the young people might know, the GPS. We all need the compass. I bought a new iPhone, and amazingly, one of the apps is a compass. And the car that I have, it actually has a digital compass, so I can find my way. We need a compass, we need a GPS to find direction. And this is not just a geographical thing. Mr. Jim McGrath, the owner and founder of Monk's Wine, has just retired. He handed his business over to his sons. And Jim says he finds himself in a new moment, but he's trying to find a way. I was talking with my oldest great-nephew, who is getting ready to go to college. They live in Dallas, Texas, but he's going far away. And none of his high school buddies are going with him. He said to me, "Uncle John, what do I need to take?" He's trying to find his way. On this Tuesday, I will be at a parish to celebrate a funeral. A woman that I've known since I was a young priest. She has 9 children. They're all raised now. Their father died about 10 years ago. And now the mother passed away. And the kids say the mother was the glue that held the family together. They said to me, "Father John, do you think there will be a way that we can all keep together?" They're trying to find their way. We need a compass. We need a GPS. Not just geographically, but whenever there is significant change that we face, something ending, something beginning, we look for a compass. In that first reading of Deuteronomy, the people of old had been traveling for 40 years out in the desert, coming to the promised land, and they finally get there. They're about to cross the Jordan River to go into the new land. And Moses speaks to them. He says, "What I'm about to tell you is not something up in the sky where nobody can reach it. It's not something across the sea, out there across the Mediterranean Sea, far away. It's something very close to you. It's actually in your heart." He says to them, "Come back to the Lord with all your heart. Keep His commands, stay close." The compass, as they are about to begin their new life in the promised land. The Gospel says the scholar came to test Jesus. And he says to Jesus, "So what can I do to inherit everlasting life?" It's the way sometimes our minds work. It's kind of a transaction. What can I do to get what I want? Jesus says to him, "So what's written in the law? How do you read it?" And the man responds in that very familiar way that we all know. To love God with everything that we have, and to love our neighbor as ourselves. And Jesus says, "You've answered rightly." The man, it says, to justify himself, says, "Well, who is my neighbor?" And Jesus tells that famous parable. There are a couple parts in that parable that are very important. At the beginning, we're told that this man was going from Jerusalem down to Jericho, and he was attacked by robbers. They not only beat him up, but they stripped him. That's very important to remember. Because for the people of old, the way they knew who the traveler was by the clothes that they wore. They could tell whether he was a Jew or a Gentile, and what tribe he belonged to. But they stripped him as they beat him up. And he laid there by the side of the road, naked. Then we're told the priest comes along. He sees the man, but he doesn't know whether he's a Jew or a Gentile. If he's a Gentile, the priest can't go near him. It would make him impure, incapable of doing his function. So he passes by on the opposite side. Then the Levite, the teacher of the law, also comes. He looks at the man, and again, he doesn't know. Is he Jew or Gentile? And if the Levite touches him, especially if he touches his blood, it would make him impure. And he passes by on the opposite side. For the priest and the Levite, they were doing the externals that were part of the law. Not to become impure by mingling with the Gentiles. But then comes the Samaritan, the enemy of the Jew. And he sees the man. He doesn't know whether he's Jew or Gentile. But his heart is moved. He goes over and not only touches him, he pours oil and wine on his wounds and he bandages him. Then he lifts him up and puts him on his animal and takes him to the innkeeper. He pays not only the innkeeper, but he says, and if he costs more, on my way back, I will pay you. The abundance of his mercy, generosity of this man. Jesus says, then who is the good neighbor? And the teacher has to say, it was the Samaritan. The one who stopped, extended himself, and mercifully bandaged his wounds and brought him to a place of shelter. The compass for all of us is certainly Jesus Christ. In the second reading, we're told he is the visible face of God. He is our teacher. He is our compass. And what he tells us is that the center of the compass, the heart of the GPS, is found in the way that we treat one another, especially those who are in need. It doesn't matter the color of their skin. It doesn't matter their educational background. It doesn't matter their country of origin. It does matter whether we can stop and mercifully care for those who are in need. Jesus says, and do this, and you will live. Do this, and you will live. It's our compass. It's our compass. Our care for one another, especially those who are in need.